Chopper, I don't care what that Vectrex said. You're gonna go down one day, perp. Now what do we got here? Oh, it's a transmission from fellow street judge Lawnboyspost. Looks like he's transmitting out of Sector 1975. I think he's doing a review of the Judge Dredd game.
This is Judge Dredd on the Sega Mega Drive, released by Acclaim in 1995. It was also released on the SNES, which I hear is the better and more playable version. It was developed by those guys, Probe, and it's somewhat very loosely based on the 1995 Judge Dredd movie of the same name starring Sylvester Stallone.
Wait a minute, what did he just say? Computer, reverse!
This is Judge Dredd on the Sega Mega Drive, released by Acclaim in 1995. It was also released on the SNES, which I hear is the better and more playable version.
So Judge Lawnboyspost, in his review of this, the Mega Drive, or also known as Sega Genesis version of Judge Dredd, did say that the Super NES version is actually better and more playable. That's an interesting thing to discover. I'm indebted to you, Judge Lawnboyspost, if that's true. So, since I happen to have a copy of the Super NES version, let's check it out. Alright, well here we are back in the test facility. Been a while since I played the Genesis version, so I'm just going to give it a quick run through just to refresh my memory. Alright, here goes Dredd, and he's got to take on these perps. See if we can... Oh, there. Well, I didn't quite mean to kill that guy, but not to worry. Down on the ladders here, which are a little tricky to spot. I really prefer to beat these perps up and actually arrest them. But I do find it's a little tricky with the Genesis version. I'm wondering if that's actually one of the improvements that Judge Lawnboy is talking about. Let's get past these. A little bit tricky on the ladders there. Alright, let's go further. Got hit there. And then, of course, you got to use C to cycle through your weapons here. And I want to drop a bomb on one of these things to get to the objectives. Alright, that's one of them. Yeah, if I remember correctly, one of the tricks to this game is you need to actually perform all of your tasks that are listed on the terminals, and then that allows you to actually end the level. It's a very confusing thing for a lot of new players. Now let's see if I can get the guy. Unfortunately, I keep killing him. There's one of the terminals I mentioned. So again, A gives us our mission status, where we have to destroy those barrels, that I remember. And I'm at 18% complete. Alright, so that's pretty much the Genesis version restored in my memory. Oh, okay, I forgot to change weapons back again. Oh, let's arrest him. How did I arrest him before? I think you have to... That is something I do remember was very difficult to actually arrest perps in this game. When they've got their hands up, they do like that. How do you arrest them? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fact that this ends up being more of a kill fest, unfortunately. Come on, arrest him. Alright, well, that happened there. Alright, I've kind of got a refresher there, and there's my various things, my number of lives left, ammunition, score. So that gives me a good idea of the Genesis version. Let's proceed on, shall we? Alright, now let's try out the Super NES version. Oh, already we're off to a good start. It's actually got some nice rain effects on there. The music sounds a little bit better too, but that's not very fair comparing Super NES versus Genesis for music. What are our buttons here? We got jump, shoot. Oh, well that's an improvement. Now we can kick. And there's the arrest button, or the arrest action. So that's now mapped to a button. That's probably going to make finding these, getting these perps off to the ISO cubes a lot easier. Don't know what the back ones do just yet, but let's proceed. Let's see if I can punch him. Well, Dredd's still got mighty boots that can destroy people. I'm going to have to be a little more careful as I go here. I do like this billboard. That's a really nice improvement on the effect, or on the graphics. He's still pretty tough, though. Better sound effects. I like the fact you can hear Dredd speaking, or at least grunting. The D-pad's a little easier on this for going up and down those ladders. A little easier. Oh, okay, so now these are the buttons, these top buttons, the shoulders, can actually be used for cycling through ammo. Quite like that. Good. Alright, let's proceed. Careful, careful, Dredd. Also, this may not be very obvious here, but the camera panning around as Dredd looks in different directions, it does a nicer kind of a move. I was finding with the Genesis one, there's this much more swervy action whenever the camera's moving around there. Now with the terminal, oh, I quite like that. Now we have 4 out of 18 as opposed to just a percentage. That actually works better for me. Yeah, status 3 out of 12 for the perps. Still have my health at a percentage though, but I do like that more. And I like that. It's a lot easier to arrest perps. It's just one button. That's a huge improvement. Dredd kind of huffs and puffs as he's pushing stuff. I like that. The ladder's still a little bit tricky to get up and down. But no, I am liking this more. This is actually a huge improvement. Arrest him. There's our famous apparitions back again. Let's see if we can get this guy. Whoa, 2 of them. Arrest him. Oh, that's 1,000,000 times better. That's a huge improvement. I like that. There's even an ability to run, which is not easy to pull off, but it can be done. I believe you have to push twice on the D-pad here. Let's give this a whirl. There we go. Yeah, that's actually easier to pull off with this D-pad than it is on the Genesis. So, I have to say, I am actually really impressed. It's a better version. Well, color me impressed. That's some pretty good detective work there, Judge Lawnboyspost. I had always assumed that the Genesis or Mega Drive version of Judge Dredd and the Super NES one were essentially one and the same game. They pretty much are as far as difficulty is concerned, but wow, I mean the graphics in the Super NES one are vastly improved. I like that billboard especially, and the rain effect. sound. I mean, obviously music sounds better coming out of a Super NES chip than it does from the Genesis. But it's not only that, it's the fact that we can hear Dredd making noises and footsteps, that kind of thing. Way, way better in that regard. The fact that you actually get not a percentage showing your total movement or progress through the mission, but actually you got 3 out of 12 perps you still got to arrest, or the fact that you're 7 out of the 18 different ammunition barrels have got to be done. I like that more than a percentage, to be honest. Speaking of arresting, I really like the way that this thing has a mapped button for the arrest. That makes it so much easier. With the Genesis, it's so much harder with that D-pad to correctly finagle a way to make the arrest action happen. This one, it's right on the button. That's awesome. I really like that. Generally speaking, going up and down ladders is easier, generally. And I just find, and that run capacity, that's a lot easier with this one too. So yeah, I had always assumed these two were essentially the same game, but no, this one is better and more playable. Just like Judge Lawnboyspost had said out of Sector 1975. Good work. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link down below to Judge Lawnboyspost's actual review of the Mega Drive version, so you can just see what he had to say, what inspired me to do this investigation. I'm really impressed. I'm indebted to you, Judge Lawnboyspost. Right, until next time, stay out of trouble.